Hey, good evening, brothers and sisters. I hope all of you are enjoying a nice and relaxing Sunday night. Hopefully, you're all having yourselves a nice dinner, maybe a steak and potato, or if you're like me, hey, taco night. I know it's not Tuesday, but tacos are great any day of the week. We had a small conversation about the EAS scale when it came to pay and how many individuals in management that they have and how some of those inflated salaries are some of the problems that the Postal Service has. And so, with some of the people I see online posting the salaries, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read off 13 of the highest salaries in the Postal Service, and then I'm going to read off grades 15 through 26 on the EAS scale effective January 13th of 2024. And I'm going to put that information out there, and hopefully the general public will see this as well. Postmaster General and CEO Louis DeJoy, pay $341,020. Douglas Tolino, Deputy Postmaster General, $327,600. Number 3, Jacqueline Stracco. She's the CCBSO. I don't know what that is. I don't know what a lot of these titles are. She makes $312,728 per year. The next individual, Isaac Cronkite, CPDO, $312,728 per year. Number 5, CRDO is Joshua Collin, makes $312,366. Number 6, Chief Logs Officer Kelly Abney, makes $303,188. CTO number 7, Scott Bombaugh, $301,496. Number 8, General Counsel is Thomas Marshall, $301,496. CIO Pritha Mehra, $301,496 per year. Next, number 10, CCMO Stephen Monteith, $301,117. Number 11, Chief Financial Officer Joseph Corbett, $301,117. Number 12, Senior VP Financial and Strategy Luke Grossman, $278,836. Number 13, Secretary of the BOG Michael Elston, $246,700. Executive and administrative scale from the United Postmasters Union, which is www.unitedpma.org. You can find the EAS scale, and this is exactly what it says. Effective 13 January 2024, day 1, week 1, pay period 3, 2024. Grade 15, minimum 58,390, maximum 81,590. Grade 16, 61,870, maximum 31,270. Grade 17, 65,510, max 95,310. Grade 18, 67,380. Next, for the max, 99,480. Next is grade 18B, also 43, 72,860. Topped out, 101,260. Grade 19, 73,890. Max 104,190. These salaries are insane. If anyone out there is listening. Yeah, you know what? Male 80 Mel? I'm going to tell you this right now. If we're the help, then your supervisor can get off their fat fucking ass and go out there and carry some mail. Resign from that position, resign that title, and come back down and grab that satchel, and let's see how she's sweating butter at the end of the day. Because he or she probably wouldn't make it more than a couple of relays or loops before they need to take a break. But hey, beat the heat. Keep it moving. You know, what was the old saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know, with all due respect, you know, what goes around comes around, and it's karma. You know, we're not the help. Maybe we should start referring to them as the lack of help. I actually think that would be kind of funny. Maybe tell me if you got a laugh out of that. Next, we're going to go to level 20, 85,250, topped out 109,880. 21, 86,420, topped out 115,170. 22, 89,990, topped out 124,840. Level 23, 94,940, topped out 131,640. Level 24, 100,470 at the minimum, 138,170 at the max. Level 25, 112,440, maximum 145,040. And then level 26, 120,240, topped out at 152,240. Absolutely insane. And then you have part-time postmasters. Part-time postmasters, hourly, it's got two different grades. The minimum is $22.85, which is the annual equivalent of $47,534 at the minimum, and the hourly maximum is $33.90, which is the equivalent of $70,510. I'd also seen a little something that somebody had posted in one of my comments saying that, management actually, the Postal Service actually does draw some money from the government. And wouldn't you know, I'm looking at a Congressional Research Service, the CRS, from October 19th of 2023. And it states that, 39 USC subsection 2003, the Postal Service Fund is a revolving fund that consists largely of revenues generated from the sale of postal products and services. Well, we all know that. But as you go through this, it's really interesting because it states that Postal Service Fund for fiscal year 2024, the President's budget includes requests of $75.5 million for the Postal Service Fund to compensate for revenue foregone in providing free and reduced mail. This is $25.28 million more than the fiscal year 2023 request and the fiscal year 2023 enacted appropriations. Both the President's budget and the USPS fiscal year 2024 congressional budget submissions request an additional $307.224 million to compensate for the previous year's revenue foregone that was not appropriated or made available to the Postal Service. Additionally, the President's budget requests $157.575 million to reimburse USPS for reduced cost mail service between the United States and freely associated states, i.e. Republic of the Marshall Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, and the Republic of Palau. Under the Compacts of Free Association, mail delivery between the United States and the freely associated states is priced and treated as domestic rather than international. And that's under the Domestic Mail Manual 608.2. This is interesting because it does show in this report that the Postal Service is getting money from the government. It gets even better. I'm just going to go ahead and take one quick look through this. Please excuse me. I know there's not too many of you listening to this. This is something that none of you have to be here for. This is something that I would have made a video for, but I don't know how to use the software. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. The Postal Accountability and Enhancement Act requires that the United States Postal Service Office of Inspector General must submit its budget requests directly to Congress and to the Office of Management and Budget. The law further requires that the USPS OIG's budget be treated as a component of USPS's budget. So that right there is giving us some of the ideas of where some of the Postal Service's losses are coming from, because OIG is part of USPS's budget. If OIG is a branch of federal law enforcement, I can see why the law has has it being part of our budget. But this gets even better because I had seen a nice little article that somebody had posted the other day. And this was the 2018 national agreement between the APWU, the American Postal Workers Union, and the Postal Service. And it was the interest arbitration decision that was effectively dated March 10th of 2020. And the panel was Stephen B. Goldberg, which was the neutral chair, Robert A. Duffick, the USPS member, and Philip Tabita, which was the APWU member. And on page 20, this is a direct quote. As for the evidence and argument put forth by both parties with respect for the Postal Service's financial condition and the effect that should have on the award, I shall be brief. The issue was discussed and resolved in this panel's 2016 award and need not be discussed again. For the reasons stated in the 2016 award, I do not view the Postal Service's financial condition as calling for a modification or rejection of the statutory comparability standard. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is proof in the pudding why none of you should be afraid of arbitration and to vote no on this bullshit tentative agreement that Renfro fucked us with. I had posted some links in this description for some of the things that I had just read, including the CRS report. So what I'm going excuse me, I freaking muted this mic. So what I'm going to do before I go ahead and I end this broadcast is I'm going to try and I'm going to put this in the comments. I'm going to try and look this up because I only have a picture of it on my phone. But I'm going to put this in the comments so all of you can look at it. And I'm going to try and see if I can find the PDF online. And I'm going to try and link that link in the comments so all of you that listen to me, that share things, can show that to your brothers and sisters to show that an arbitrator looks at this stuff. That's somebody that's not an arbitrator, that's a rank and file, that's a branch member, that's a branch president or a branch vice president or some kind of a sympathizer that says, oh, we're not going to get anything at arbitration. I'm going to say this. You are not part of the American Arbitration Association. You are not a board certified lawyer. You are not a member of the bar. None of these people know, because there are very few lawyers that are amongst our ranks. I know there's one person in my branch that's currently studying to become an attorney. And God bless her, because I certainly hope she's able to do it. But none of these people hold a law license. None of these people know anything, because arbitrators are people. They are based on fact and evidence. What people are doing is giving you their opinions, just like I'm giving you my opinion. Just because the wind is blowing out of the north doesn't mean that it's not going to go ahead and blow out of the south eventually. Things change. But that's not a reason for anyone to be ashamed of the choices that they make. But it should also be one of the main reasons why you should never be afraid to make a choice that is in your best interest. The proof is in the pudding. It is in this document between the Postal Service and the APWU for their 2018 national agreement dated March 10th of 2020 with arbitrator Goldberg as the neutral chair. I'm going to go ahead and find it. I'm going to put it up, and I hope someone out there that's listening to me will share this. It's just another reason why we all need to vote no. Do not be gaslit into thinking that this is the best that they could do. This is the best that one man can do because he has no integrity and he cares not for you, for me, for your families, or our ability to maintain any standard of living. Think about all the sacrifices that we're going to have to make because inflation is currently right here. And this is not a political thing. This is not about who the president is. This is nothing about Congress. This is simply about the individual that was representing us that took absolutely no time to talk to anybody that has any experience negotiating with USPS. This was one individual that was a narcissist. One individual that was a narcissist. And he allowed those narcissistic tendencies to come out, and they are on full display. And it is in that tentative agreement. I hope all of you decide to join me in voting no. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your evening. Go ahead, rest, recover, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of the night. I'm going to go ahead and post this decision as soon as I can find it. Take care.